Do you think the plaintiffs will win?
I do think we'll win because I think, have shown the defendants failed in their burden to show pro-competitive benefits. First, on the amateur level, they didn't call any economists to show that the rules promote demand for the product, which I think is required under the antitrust laws. Instead, they called 5 cherry-picked witnesses. By cherry-picked, the defendants picked among 350 schools, school presidents, and school sports executives. And those people basically said, oh, it'd be terrible. People have told us it'd be bad if kids were paid. Well, that's hearsay evidence. The judge didn't admit it. And that was really the foundation for their saying that it would hurt demand to pay kids. In the meantime, what we had is economic evidence. We had evidence that they, as a result of our lawsuit, paid student athletes more money over the last 4 years because they changed some of the compensation rules. In addition, they went kind of on their own and are paying kids tens of thousands of dollars in addition to the amount allowed under the rule, under the guise that those payments are, quote, incidental to their participation. So, for example, they're paying kids 50 grand to get an insurance policy in case they get hurt and can't make it to the pros. They paid a kid $45,000 to help with legal bills. We have thousands of examples. So now they're paying kids more than they said they could pay, and there's been no impact on demand for NCAA sports. In fact, demand's gone up. So we think that we're going to win. And on the student integration issue, the only economic evidence is that when payments have gone up to these kids, graduation rates are up. So paying these kids more money is actually helping their academic outcomes, not hurting them.
What will happen if the plaintiffs win?
Well, what will happen if we win this case is interesting. What we're asking the court to do is to enjoin the nationwide rule that limits compensation and to allow the individual conferences to set compensation. So I think what will happen is the Big Ten and the SEC and the Pac-12, they'll all sit down together and say, okay, how are we going to compete? And how are we going to compete without hurting our product? So if they really believe that paying kids will hurt demand, they won't allow rules at the individual conference level that would hurt demand. They won't pay a kid $1 million if they really believe it'll hurt demand. So I think you'll see some incremental changes. Some conferences will pay kids some money and some won't, and the fans will go to either one. It's not going to hurt demand. The other thing that I hope will happen is we've also asked the court to order that there be no restraint on educational benefits. What I mean by that is, I think in a world where the schools weren't agreeing to fixed compensation, that some schools would say, come to our school, and if you get through 4 years, we'll pay for your graduate school. It would be a recruiting tool to give student athletes more educational benefits. That's a win-win. I mean, why would it hurt a student athlete to get awarded more education? And hopefully that will happen as a result of the lawsuit.
Will there be plaintiffs who get paid millions of dollars from this settlement?
The notion that athletes will get paid millions, that's just fear-mongering by the defendants. Again, I got every single university executive that was called to say they would never do that because they think it would hurt their product. So they're going to pay these student athletes in a measured way and will not throw millions of dollars at them. It'll be a measured way to make sure that they don't become like pros.